YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back with an interesting video today. I got three NFL teams that could win the Super Bowl or actually have a bad season, a very bad season. So the three rangiest teams, if that makes sense. There's a lot of rangy teams for this year. Very hard to predict, but there's only three teams, while being super rangy, that could actually win the Super Bowl or possibly be getting a good pick in the draft. So I thought this was very interesting. These three teams stood out, and I'm going to kind of break them down, explain why. My final predictions for the upcoming season for division placements, playoffs, Super Bowl will be coming in the next days. We got Discord, Pick'ems League, and plenty more available for you guys right now. Go to that link at the top there, patreon.com/thegoathouse. Link in the description towards the top as well to find out more info. Discord's very cool. A few of you in it already. Constant NFL discussions and debates going on there. Sometimes getting a little heated, I guess. And then I'm sure the discussions will continue through the NFL season and during live games. Pick'ems League should be a lot of fun, too. You can pick alongside us. Plenty more there. Click that link. Just to find out more. Subscriber goals at 40K by the end of this year. We much appreciate if you can subscribe. Turn on notifications. We're going to have full coverage of the NFL season once it starts. So you're going to want to turn those notifications on. Click the like button. Check us out on Twitter. Link in the description for that as well. Three teams that are just the rangiest that could win the Super Bowl or just be a bust team. Let's talk about them. I got the Bears. I think the Bears are one of them. I think a very good team. More likely they will be a good team. But I think they have quite a big range. Why can they win the Super Bowl, or what will happen if they win a Super Bowl? I guess they stay healthy. They stay balanced as they are right now. We've seen them very healthy last year. I like to see that. I like to see healthy teams. If they can stay that healthy again, they got a shot. If they get beat up this year, it's a big change. So that actually can be on the why they could bust side. And then they do have elite defense that could win a Super Bowl, a unique offense, unique system, and they got good chemistry. It just seems like it's a team, It's something I really like about them. And a lot of young talent on the team that's grown over the years, and they're really kind of starting to get towards their prime now. Some of them are still growing, but still very talented, very, very good playmakers, I could say, at times. But, those are reasons why that could be a Super Bowl team, why they could have a disappointing season, why they could be a bust team. If QB play doesn't improve, if they ended up at the end of the year that they were bad, I would say it's because the quarterback didn't improve. When quarterbacks don't improve, they really get worse because teams game plan for them. They figure them out. They stay the same. So Trubisky has to get better. I didn't think he had a good season last year. He did get them to the playoffs. The defense played insane. That could be a reason for it. But not really doubting him. I'm not at all doubting him. I'm just kind of playing both sides, and this is why they're rangy. So he can get better, and that can make them a Super Bowl team. That's kind of another reason. If he gets better, that's back at the top, why they're a Super Bowl team. Most likely they'll have less defensive turnovers. It's very hard. History in the past shown that it's very hard for that to repeat. I still think an elite defense, and they've won some close games off those big-time turnovers, sometimes for a touchdown, for 6. Sometimes they set their offense up for an easy run there, easy drive. So that could be the difference as well. And in a first-place schedule, playing last place last year, and a tougher schedule for that whole NFC North this year, playing that very tough AFC West. And I do think they're lacking like that, those big-time playmakers, besides Khalil Mack. He's a pass rusher. I don't really view Akeem Hicks, I think, could be an elite player. I don't know if it's really a playmaker. I'm really looking towards the offensive side of the ball. Yeah, Tariq Cohen's a very good weapon. I love their receiver unit, but do they have that elite playmaker, that can pick them up at any time and just make a wow play? You can't really say they do. They have some up-and-comers. They have weapons. They're very balanced. So the good news here, I do think the Bears can win the Super Bowl. That's why they're on here. This is a positive video because there are only 3 teams out of all these rangy teams. I don't know if there's been a year. I've covered this all offseason like I do every year. I don't know if there's been this many rangy teams, and there's only 3 that I think can win a Super Bowl. The Bears are one of them because of those things I explained at first. But why some people could doubt them, or the reasons listed could be if they end up being bad, that's probably what happens, is kind of what I'm saying here. 2 more teams to get to, or like I said, the range, win range could be 7 to 14 wins for the Bears. And then placement range, I think they can finish. I don't see them finishing last in the division. They can finish 3rd. or I think they can win the Super Bowl. I really think, it's tough to see Trubisky win the Super Bowl, but with this much balance and this much, the elite defense and a elite player like Khalil Mack and how the offense is unique, and like I said, the chemistry seems real, seems legit. I don't know if there's anyone better. They have really good home field advantage. I think those reasons are the reasons why they can win the Super Bowl. Next team would be the Carolina Panthers. Win range, I think, is 4 wins. They can literally win only 4 games, I think. I really think that. And then they can win 13 games. And then the placement range, I think they can finish last in the division. They can win the Super Bowl. That's the range. Why Super Bowl? They have elite talent here and there. Cam Newton can be elite. Christian McCaffrey is elite. And then Luke Kuechly is elite. And then some other guys can step up. They have other guys that can step up. Then they have experience. They have experience on the Super Bowl run. A lot of these guys kind of goes into their elite talents, kind of almost the same thing. These guys have experience, especially with the coaching staff too. And they could streak. We saw it last year. They were streaking. They were maybe the best team in football. I'm like, this team's a legit. That's just a year ago. That's just a year ago from today, going on through halfway through the season. I'm thinking this team could win a Super Bowl this year. It's not much of a different team. But why can they bust? Why can they have a bad season? I have extreme health concerns, and why I say extreme spots. Really, the quarterback, but the offensive line, some of those players have been beat up too, which can result in the quarterback getting beat up. And without Cam Newton healthy, not even just saying without Cam Newton, without him healthy, it's not good. They went on a losing streak with Cam Newton because he wasn't himself. He wasn't healthy. That's what happened. They have holes. Even though they have elite talent here and there, they do have holes in the secondary. They could use better pass rushers. They definitely need more receivers. And then again, they can streak, but the wrong way. We saw it last year. That's a little scary. So this is like probably the easiest team to put up here because the way they can go on a winning streak and go on a losing streak, kind of going back to the streak part, like how does that make you a Super Bowl team? You need to be able to consistently get wins and streak to win a Super Bowl. That's what the playoffs are. So to explain that, that's what that means. But really, they can win very little games because of the health of the quarterback, possibly, and they do need some help in spots. But just a year ago, they were like one of the better teams in football, so that they can do it if they stay 100% healthy and the young guys step up in spots where maybe Brian Burns has an excellent rookie year. I don't doubt the guy, but he's only a rookie. If he just has an excellent year, that turns that pass rush right around. Anything like that. So very rangy team here, the Panthers. And then the last team, the rangiest team in my opinion, is the Jacksonville Jaguars. They can win 5 games. They can win 14 games. They can be bad. They can be absolutely dominant. Placement range, they can finish 4th in the AFC South. They can win the Super Bowl. Why Super Bowl? I mean, they have a Super Bowl MVP quarterback that I think can play. People doubt him a little bit. I think he can play. He's smart, knows how to make these runs, knows how to play. And I think they have an elite pass rush, or can have it at the end of the year if we see them in a Super Bowl, because we could be saying it's because they have an elite pass rush, because it's very realistic that they can. They got Calais Campbell, they got Yannick Ngakoue, and they have Josh Allen, who was my number 2 player in the draft. And they can use him in different sneaky ways. Defense can be elite. I'm not saying it is elite. They do have some spots where they can get better, but it's something that's not out there. They definitely can be elite. If they're at the end of the year in the Super Bowl, we can come back and say it's because that defense is elite. I think they have playmakers. You look at, Fournette can be a playmaker even though he hasn't been yet. I know what he's capable of. I think people sleep on the receivers a little bit. I sounded like Romo a little bit there. My voice was going, but I think the receivers can be playmakers. And the defensive side, mainly what I'm looking at, those pass rushers, and then Jalen Ramsey, Boye, I think guys like that, Miles Jack, those guys can be playmakers. They do have playmakers. Why bust? Coaching/play calling, that kind of goes together there. Marone, kind of on the hot seat after last year, but he did get to the AFC Championship game 2 years ago. DeFilippo is a terrible play caller. I hope he doesn't call plays. That could be the reason for them having a bust year. First-year quarterback and chemistry kind of going together. First-year quarterback for the Jaguars, for playing for the Jaguars. And some new faces there, new quarterback, kind of shifts things chemistry-wise. And then Fournette kind of not always being there for the team last year. And then Jalen Ramsey, I feel like, is kind of just about himself sometimes, so that kind of messed with the chemistry a little bit too. And I do think they have holes at the same time of having big-time playmakers. Their linebacker unit took a big hit. No Talvin Smith. They could, even though they have really good pass rush, they have really no interior pass rush, which is key, which was very key for teams last year, I've noticed. And I think the offense line's good. If it starts to get hurt again, though, that could create some holes. So we will see what the Jaguars can do this year. I think they're pretty darn rangy. It's just, just 2 years ago, they're in the AFC Championship game with Bortles. Now they got Nick Foles. So that's the reason for hope. But I don't know if the defense is quite as good as then. I worry about the play calling a little bit. I worry about the chemistry a little bit. That's the reason for bad. So hopefully everyone understood this video. These teams, I guess, a lot of rangy teams. But these three teams really stood out because they can be good enough to win the Super Bowl, unlike those other teams. Pretty much all those other teams can be bad like these teams, but they can't win the Super Bowl. So I really think it's a positive video. It's just weird teams. To me, these are weird teams, mystery teams. That's why the thumbnail says that. So I thought it was an interesting one. Got my final predictions. If you're watching this when it got uploaded on the 30th of August, my final predictions are coming out. They're going to be spread across 3 different videos coming out this weekend. You will get a lot of action here. And then NFL trades and roster cuts, we'll try to keep you covered on that. You're always covered if you're on our Twitter, and then for sure always covered if you're on our Discord. To gain access to that, check out the Patreon link in the description. Plenty more access you can get to there. Pretty cool stuff. That's going to do it for this one, though. Hopefully you can join us for the regular season coverage. My favorite content of the year. Please subscribe. Please turn on the notifications. That's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.